about Easter, and then went and tested out with an audience with Tyler. And he didn't tell me the audience would be several religious-looking people. So they seem to enjoy it a bit. I don't know. It's called Jesus Christ is at Your Party. Okay. Picture, if you will, and imagine your existential thrill if, when you're hosting a swanky event, a guy arrives whose invite you sent on a whim. Jesus Christ is that guy, and you're going to make sure his glass is never dry. The evening goes on just as expected, but soon you find out Jesus has elected to change the cocktail you spent hours creating into a punch of his own making. Oh, it was nothing, he says when confronted. I'm just doing what everyone else wanted, mine's a lot better, got no aftertaste that lingers, and it was no trouble, just a snap of my fingers. He glides away as though held up by wings, and you start to notice a few other things. Firstly, the nibbles don't seem to be running out. You go to the kitchen to see what that's about, and find the food you bought to be enjoyed is sat on the shelf, waiting to be deployed. It seems the Messiah has taken it upon himself to supply the food, leaving yours on the shelf, which will be fine, had you known, but you didn't. And you don't condone his behaviour, your food's gone to waste, it can't be refrozen, and it's losing its taste, all because Jesus is doing miracles because he can. I'm sure fucking up your party wasn't part of God's plan. So you go out and to have a word and finds attracted quite a crowd. He's stood on a table and is being quite loud, doing one of his tales that involve metaphor where you work out the meaning and what it's all for, but really all those do is weed out the thick. Anyone else who did that you think was a prick, but you wait politely till he's had his applause. He's probably converted at least 20 to his cause. You go over and ask him to be a bit more normal, a little less godlike, and his response is far too formal. It's clear he sees himself as above your event. He looks you in the eye and says, "From which God were you sent?" You back away slowly. You know that you've lost, and you really don't want to see what this guy can do when he's crossed. So you go and sit down and have a little drink, and in that time you start to think about why you invited a deity in the first place. All he's done is made you look like a disgrace, and you'd never admit to it, using his powers to make you look like a tit. You look outside and you see his grace, stood on your pool, with a smile on his face, as though daring you to come and join him when he knows full well you can only go for a swim. You go into the other room. God, you hope this prick will leave soon.
Hey.